Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe, and you're checking out Weekend at Gabe's, and thanks for checking out this latest episode. While you're here, also follow us on these social medias at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. Thanks for checking us out.
Absolutely. You're checking out Weekend at Gabe's with Weekend Gabe on this Friday evening, May 28th. I'm Weekend Gabe, of course. And to my right is the real Sam Crane, who is holding us down with the great producing and all the great stuff you see on social media and on YouTube's and everywhere else. We are going to segue. This is the last day of Style Week. If you missed our Tuesday episode, fear not, it's up on YouTube. And we'll cut out some pieces of it soon and post those in case you missed any part of it. But we had Pugs Adams join us to talk about all the great work that we were talking about Us You We, and then all his music stuff that he's doing. And then we had Sawson join us also to talk about sneaks. We had a great conversation about his evolution of incorporating sports and great weather and social justices into his clothing line. So those are two great interviews. And so tonight,
a really great interview to watch if you're a young entrepreneur too, trying to make your own way. So
absolutely. Yeah. Joining us now, Michael Teo, or also known as Trill Teo from the GhettoFlower.com. He joins us now. Let's welcome him in. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. Thank you for making time for us on this Friday evening. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you guys for having me, man. Big pleasure. Big pleasure.
So we were doing Style Week, right? And so Monday was all about clothes and designs. But you and your team over there at the Ghetto Flower are doing a lot of different types of creativity and design, mostly online, but trying to help anyone who's interested in getting their brand up to that next level. You guys are helping give that extra push. Talk a little bit about your guys' initiative.
Yeah, man. So, the Ghetto Flower, we're pretty much what, the name means, just all about, planting seeds, and sort of just breaking through, the hard times and, the tough strides of life and, showing that you have a craft and being able to sort of push through, learn these tools, skills, and just, break boundaries, man. The Ghetto Flower, I'm not sure what, how much you guys know about it, but it started off as just, sort of like a blog. So, over time, we've sort of ventured out, learned new things, and, we're just always trying to give that back and give that back to the people that we serve.
Yeah. I think that's what's really interesting about you guys is that flower is the right word, because you guys like started from this one stem of just like blogs and music, but now it's interviews, now it's clothes, now you got artists that you're interviewing, modeling for you. You guys are still writing blog posts. I saw you. We had Fee on the show a couple weeks ago, and you guys just wrote up Life of Fee. So you guys are active, but you're also like open. So does that ever get too expansive for you, or do you just feel like that's the challenge that you want to take on?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Sometimes, we do have to like reel ourselves back in. Obviously, we aim high, but we just try to take it one step at a time. And usually, that one step just shows us that, hey, this is possible. Let's try this now, or, let's try this now. So yeah, we do a bunch, but it's all sort of, all encompassing and, sort of like the holistic like platform that we want to eventually build into.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how this formed, because it's sort of your brain baby, as it were, but there's a couple other people involved.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to the team first of all. Shout out Q, shout out Sway, shout out Melissa, and just shout out everybody who's really been locked in and supporting over the years. But like I said, it started when I was back at school. It was my senior year in college. Like I was living in Milwaukee at the time, and I really was just sort of like going through like just school and not really like sure what I'm gonna do post graduating and stuff like that. And I started interning at this startup, and everyone at the startup sort of had their own like side gig. And I was like, wait a second, like, what am I missing here? Like, why don't I have this? And so it sort of just started out like, hey, I'm gonna make this website. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Came up with the name, the Ghetto Flower. And then I was like, hey, I started meeting all these people, photographers, musicians, and, they were really interested in the platform. And I was like, hey, why don't I cover what you guys do? And you guys just be on the platform. So started out as just, like I said, a blog. eventually, people really started to like, call out the logo, the sort of like OG Flower logo that we use. So we started just, make some merch. Started out with like a hat and a t-shirt. That really started buzzing at like, my college campus, and even sort of like bleeded back here into like Chicago. So like just happy to see like the growth. Obviously graduating now, I'm like, hey, let me tap in with, these Chicago artists, that I'm listening to or just know from like friends of friends. And then, like interviews started popping off, podcasts. And we even did like a couple pop-up events. Like I said, the merch really started to take off. We started to drop that, in a seasonal format, dropping like a couple pieces each year. So yeah, people really, bought into it, and that's sort of how we've been able to grow and network over the past years.
I see that on the site you guys offer up a lot of free resources for anyone who's doing any sort of type of digital marketing or creating digital content. You guys are just giving all this free information away. I was brought up that the game is to be sold, not to be told. What am I missing today? That and why you're doing this?
Hey, it's different in this generation, Gabe. That's what I'm gonna say about that, man.
Well, I'm sorry. Is Sam the guest today? No. Let Trill answer it.
Yeah, you're right.
No, that's a good question, but I agree with you, Sam. It's just a different day and age now, and like obviously like with the boom of like just digital media and the way we consume sort of content, we just want to have a foot in the game as how can we give back, and so we give back in many ways. Not only just like digital content and stuff, but we also donate monetarily to a few like up and coming brands in Chicago, and so it's sort of like we're helping plant the seed, but we also want to nurture it and give our input.
Absolutely.
What is one of the do you have like a great example of someone that either reached out to you or you reached out to, and it could be either fee that stopped through, but who have you seen grow from you guys engaging with them and seeing them reach a different level from when they were beginning?
That's a tough question. I'd say like you're talking like musicians or like brands. I'd say myself, honestly. I'd say my brand. I'd say my brand, just because like I always think about when I first started it, like we were only doing one thing, and now we sort of started this big like sort of platform now, and so I think we've sort of practiced what we've preached and been able to get to where we're at.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I want to, and since we're talking about growth and since we're talking about yourself, and you brought up Marquette already, I want to roll back to Marquette real quick. Obviously went to Marquette. I learned this week that you went to Marquette with Pat Clifford, who we had on the show a few months back. Talk about that experience. How did that shape you? How did that shape your motivations moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, like Marquette was such a great time in my life. Like it was really just a blessing. Like I was able to go there, on like a scholarship and meet some incredible people. That's sort of what grew my like entrepreneurial sort of like aspect of who I am. Just
business school. Am I right? Business school.
Yeah. So I was in business school. I actually didn't even start out in business school. I came in as like an engineer. Wasn't really feeling that. So like, was undecided for a second and then really just like tapped into like the business side. It was more suited for me, I guess. But yeah, like, taking classes like, marketing, finance, accounting, IT, you sort of like pick up traits and then obviously, trying to get jobs and internships, you're learning on the job mostly. So like sort of that just like, sort of grew within me and was like, what, I'm graduating now. Like, if I was to leave here and not do anything for myself, like it would be at a disservice. So I was like, what? I'm just going to try this and, let's see how, not trying to look for, some quick result, but just trying to see what I could build with it over time.
Right. And after Marquette, I saw you did a little bit of traveling too.
Yeah. That was honestly like just to like step away and like say, hey, like I'm done with school. But yeah, no, I went to Europe for 3 weeks. So I was actually born in London, England. A lot of people don't know
Shout
that
out,
about me.
shout out. Where at? Shout out your hometown. Where
Yeah,
at?
I'm from an area called Hoxton. It's in Hackney, Shoreditch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Yeah,
know,
no, so you know,
Northamptonshire is my squad. You know, we up there, but
oh, nice. Okay, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Sam, you were
But,
born
yeah.
in London, right?
yeah, I grew up in near Brentford. But my family for real, my dad's side of the family is British, so they from Northamptonshire. So, but yeah, no, I saw you got out to sort of Southeast Asia.
Yeah,
You know?
that was actually during school. Yeah, I was able to do like a little like study tour, study abroad. Super dope. I went to Vietnam. Was there for about like I think 10 days. Crazy. I want to go back.
Does that like culture like shape any of your ideas like as far as the Ghetto Flower or not at all?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I feel like traveling is sort of one of my biggest like inspirations. It gives me sort of like life energy and like gets my creative juices flowing. So yeah, like you know, it's colorful over there. There's lots of flowers, so you know that could have had something to do with it. You know, definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, what is your guys as you guys are evolving and offering a number of services and working, and you guys are creators yourself? What's the mission for this year? What are you guys hoping with more? Obviously, with the world opening up this summer, how do you guys plan to attack that and get more involved with artists or designers or creators and help them expand their reach as the world is reopening?
Yeah, no, that's a big priority of ours. In the past, we used to do pop-up events. We did 2 back in 2019, and those were like pretty decent successes for us. And so we're trying to start planning those sort of events, right? This coming year, maybe even next year, bringing more people together. We've actually never done a like performance or like some sort of like mini sort of concert. So
Yep.
that's sort of on the roadmap as well. We love being out there in the community and sort of engaging and networking. That's honestly like I sort of how we built up, and so we definitely want to keep that ball rolling, moving forward.
If you had, because you guys interview a lot of artists, and obviously you know a lot of artists. I run into you at events all the time. So if you could pick your ideal for a show, who are you picking out your lineup?
Oh, that's really tough.
I got it. Dylan. All right,
well, I'd probably do something like maybe like a flex.
Classic.
Probably do like Lay Dominique.
Sleeper.
Stranded Civilians. They're really good. I like them. I want to see them live. And then I don't know. Probably like Elisa Silva.
I was gonna say Elisa Silva.
No, Axe as well. Yeah. But no, definitely want to start doing shows in the future. Like that's something like I want to do, like be able to pick lineups and have people that I know perform and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you need show host, we can recommend someone.
He wants to recommend himself.
Well, I said us. We definitely would. I think that's a definite great next step because you guys are obviously influencing designers and creators in their own way, and that would definitely be another outlet for you guys to expand your reach, as we've mentioned before. Well, what about the you mentioned kind of like the gear is more like kind of like a seasonal thing. What are you looking for as far as the summer goes? And I know you guys have some stuff already posted up. You
got some plush toys on the way for us. I've seen a lot of rumblings on the gram.
Yeah, that's honestly my boy Cuban cooking up. Honestly, man, that man's scary. But we've been working on a lot. Like we're really trying to build like the physical aspect of like the brand and like. Obviously, like as we get older, our sort of like tastes start to change, and we really notice that like people are really into like decor and like stuff you can hold or collect, and so we're really trying to dabble into that type of realm.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the merch a little bit because it started with sort of hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and now it's becoming this thing that's much bigger. Where do your ideas come from? I mean, we mentioned the logo sort of at the beginning. But where were your ideas? Like, where was your mindset, and how has that grown?
Yeah, at the beginning, it was just sort of, let's, put this logo on a t-shirt, on a hat, and just
Right.
see what happens. But like I said, we sort of transitioned into, how can we make each piece that we drop like a memory or a moment in time.
Yeah.
And so like if you like, pay close attention to like some of the stuff we've dropped, it's all kind of, has one encompassing theme each season. So the first season was just sort of us trying it out. The second season, we wanted to sort of throw it back to like a memory that we all had, sort of growing up and sort of like sprouting as this seed as we're growing. And season 2 was really about like, some of our early memories, like, going to the movie theater, like being a kid. So, we threw like the vintage type, old school type look into that sort of design. Season 3, we wanted to make it more like focused on touring merch. Touring merch was like something that, the team really like was interested in, and like sort of aligned with what we had going on, like starting to throw these events and like do things within the city. So it really depends on like what do we want to sort of portray, and then how can we relate that to a memory that sort of like everyone had.
I'm glad you brought up the memories, because the word that came to my mind was nostalgia as I sort of went back through. Exactly. Would you say that's like a big source of inspiration in general? It's just like childhood.
Yeah, no, totally. You hit it right on the head.
Absolutely.
Before we let you go, where can people follow you? Where can they get in contact with you? How can someone subscribe to your services? Where do they need to go to?
Yeah, no, honestly, everything's on theghettoflower.com. Feel free to follow us on all social media. It should be all at the Ghetto Flower. Keep it simple for y'all.
There you go.
Word. And you can find Michael at Trill. But 2 more questions before you go, and they the staples of Style Week, so we got to end this out right. You got 3 tips to give Gabe to get his wardrobe right for the summer.
Yeah, go ahead.
What does he got to do? He's a larger gentleman. He's got to find something that fits primarily. We've heard a lot of comfortability is a key. But for you, 3 things.
Yeah.
3 things. I would say, be subtle, but also be effective. And then I probably is that 1 or 2?
I'll take that. I'll take that as 1. I'll take that as 1.
I'd say, if you're gonna be loud, be loud. If you're gonna be quiet, be quiet. Don't try to do both. As far as like colors go. And yeah, like keep it simple.
Simplicity, baby. That's it. And then last question, real quick. Is there a sneaker that's your go-to, like that you gotta have in your closet?
Yeah. I'd probably say like the Jordan 4, Retro 4, black and red colorway. That's like a staple.
People hover around those 3s and 4s. They just not my swag, man. I can't pull them off.
Oh yeah. What you rocking? What are y'all rocking?
I like a good one. But Air Maxes. I do Air Maxes my swag,
Hey, that's the UK in you.
Yeah, you already know. Actually, now that you bring that up, last question. This is rapid fire. Flyest soccer jersey this past season, because I know you a big fan.
This past season, I probably gotta say PSG.
PSG, was it the pink ones?
Yeah,
the pink ones.
Pink George, those are fire. I need to get that. I need that.
Word.
I don't own a pair of Jordans, and I don't own a pair of Air Max, but I do have several pairs of Vans. So
I like Vans.
Yeah. So that's kind of says a lot about myself.
Yeah, that's real streetwear, Gabe. You go hard.
Very comfortable walking these streets. All right, Trill, thank you so much for joining us. The ghettoflower.com is the website you want to go to and check out and learn more, and also get engaged, especially if you're trying to take your dreams and your projects to that next level. They are the one-stop full-service go-to, so go check them out. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night. We hope to talk to you soon.
Definitely appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, man. Good to see you.
Take care. Yep.
Trill Teo joining us here on Weekend at Gabe's tonight. Yeah, I mean it sounds fantastic what they're doing. They have their hands involved in a lot of everything, which
It's
is
just so much coming from them, and we didn't even get a chance to get into sort of their playlists and what they're doing with these artists out there. I'm always checking The Garden, which is their Spotify playlist. So if you're up with them, get on The Garden and look at Lassa in the chat showing love. So it's all great out here. The Ghetto Flower just shows so much love no matter where they're at, and you can run into Michael at events. He's always in the back wearing a Lakers jersey, and he does his thing. So shout out to him.
good deal. Next Tuesday, Kip Stone is going to wrap around us. We rescheduled after a bit of a mishap with the scheduling 2 weeks ago. So he's going to join us to talk about a new EP, and then we're going to do a new Meet Gabe segment, which should be really fun. Gabe Piemonte, who's a writing coach. He's a PhD candidate for high school students. He does communication, civic projects. He's been published. He writes on reparations. He does a lot of cool things. And his name is also Gabe. So he's going to start.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite segment because it always boils down to that. Like no matter what, all the cool things that these people are doing, and also their name is Gabe.
Exactly. So we're going to have some fun with that. He's ready to go. So next Tuesday here on Weekend at Gabe's at 8 o'clock is the place to be. And then we're going to try to bring back Friday Funnies next Friday. So that should also be equally.
You already know.
Enjoy your 3-day holiday, Sam. I will talk to you next week.
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube dropping tomorrow. If you're watching it right now, check out all the links below.
Exactly. Once again, shout out to Trill Teo and the GhettoFlower.com for joining us. And that is our time tonight. And everyone enjoy. Go New York Knicks. I struggle to say that, but D Rose is cooking.
That's how you feel. We love D Rose on this side. Hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is, baby.
Oh, I see some D Roses on the Adidas site last night for the cheap in the sale, and then they didn't have my fucking size.
I hate it when that's how we round off Style Week, bro. It's trying to find Gabe's size.
It wasn't even like the best shoe ever, but it was like, it's D Rose, I gotta get it. And they were like, nah, your feet are too small, B. So it's maybe next time. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your night. Weekend Gabe's is closing out. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, I'm Weekend Gabe. Thanks for checking out this latest episode of Weekend at Gabe's. Click on any of the links swirling around my head and also hit the subscribe button while you're here. Thanks for checking out us here on YouTube.